Man, the way this insanity's going with how people are being led around by their noses through all levels of indoctrination and conditioning and programming through all forms of media who are on the side of trapping you up and making idolatry palatable, interesting, exciting. Oh boy, oh boy. These days are coming and they're coming in quickly. They're coming in with a vengeance. People need to understand. You need to explain to your friends and family that don't speak Bible, don't read the Bible, don't understand the Bible with a loving tone, but a firm, strong hand. You need to warn them in love that idolatry is a big deal to God. That first command, really, in some ways, you could just even say 1 through 4 in one way or another. But to keep it simple, we'll just say one. Thou shalt have no other gods before Yahweh. And then the second one, well, you can't really divorce the second one from the first one. It explicitly states, do not make idols for worship. It's pretty simple. And so when you have an entire society that is pushing you forward, like a little leaf on the stream that's being pulled forward, that's what's happening with society, with this humanity 2.0 and this admission that robots and androids, the mixing of the seed, the mixing of the clay and the iron, and Daniel 2 talks about they mixed with the seed of men. What exactly, what kind of living science experiment from the pit of hell combined with demonic entities, AI and robots, all of these things and much more with the power of Satan, endowed with the most wicked entity the world has ever known, who's going to be tossed down on this earth as your parting gift from God for those who have rejected his grace and his mercy, his goodness and his power, his strength and his love. You're going to be cut off for this time of testing. And it is all about what your heart wants, what your heart loves, that what you love the most is what is your God. Martin Luther said, that which you love the most is your God. And so they're training you. Boy, you see these 5 monks, these Buddhist monks that are bound before this robot god Mindar, and it preaches in Japan, and they put 1 million or 2, whatever it was, into this thing, and it's a femi bot of some sort. Boy, wait till the entities go into that thing and they get you down on your hands and knees, just like a little slave. They play the music just like in the book of Daniel. They play that music, and slave, you're going to drop. You're going to worship your master. And what a mistake for those that do that. They've already been teaching you in the Disturbed video. Boy, I could do so many videos on this video alone. This video, Disturbed, the Sound of Silence, we've been talking about it. There is a reason why they have him in a bowing posture, making his little song. There is a reason. You're one of those little notes. You're gonna be one of their little slaves if you don't get on board with Jesus Christ. All this bowing, look at this. There's a reason why they're all doing that. And look, there's Shekinah, your good friend Shekinah, Mother Earth. Such hellish days are coming. The people that are going to kowtow to the Noahide, this is why God puts this in here to warn you in advance with this robot apocalypse that's coming. I and other people have been trying to warn you about. I don't love how the King James translates this because I don't think it's true. I don't think it fully captures what God is trying to get through to people. It's okay to be afraid, but you got to tell your friends and family if they get left behind, man, it's okay to be afraid, but don't be a coward. Don't kowtow to the regime. Don't bow. Don't deny Jesus Christ. Because why? Because the first one noted, the first group of unbeliever noted for the characteristic of this sin is the cowardly. I love how the King James puts it. Every other translation called it cowardly, but I don't know what the deal was with the New King James called it cowardly. So did everything else, but the original King James did not. They said fearful. That's wrong. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, look, those are the first two on the list. abominable, murderers, sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death or separation from God. This is coming. They're training you. They're telling you. They are telling you in every different possible way. And you have got to be praying for those people who will be left behind, for them to have strength and not to be cowards in that day. Just stand up. Do it with tears in your eyes if you have to. Be afraid, be shaking, but find that strength from within to stand in that day and to reject the evil that wants to swallow you up and damn you to the pit of hell. And it doesn't matter whether you think it's real or not. There is a judgment day coming, and people need to understand this. So they are training your mind for that. And look at this. I found this was really helpful. This Bob Dylan singer, I don't know any of his music at all. But he said that the neon god may be technology we worship, even like a god, even though we ourselves made it and it came out of our humanity, but our obsession with and the precedence we give it may have the effect of diminishing our humanity. And if that's all it was, that would be one thing. But when you take it to the level of eternity and you take it to the level of what God will do with regard to tossing away the garbage that wants to retain its evil in rebellion and rejection of Him and of good and of all the people who want to be with Christ, then you are the garbage that God throws out. And you have to really stop and think about what is important. Is my soul important? They're telling you through media, cyborgs will replace humans and remake the world, James Lovelock says. Our supremacy as the prime understanders of the cosmos is rapidly coming to end. I will put links in the description box so you can read this yourself. It's a fairly lengthy article. It's from August 25th, so brand spanking new, hot off the presses of this year, and I don't agree with any of his dates at all. But he's going to say that for a long time, humans have reigned as our planet's only intelligent, self aware species. But the rise of the intelligent machines means that could change soon, perhaps in our own lifetimes. Not long after that, humans could vanish from the earth entirely. That's a jarring message of a new book by James Lovelock, the famed British environmentalist and futurist. Our supremacy as the prime understanders of the cosmos is rapidly coming to an end. He says in his book Nova Sene, is it? Not sure the pronunciation of it. We'll have to go look for it to look for the cover. The understanders of the future will not be humans, but what I choose to call cyborgs that will have designed and built themselves. Now it's interesting because Christ challenges that. They have their little hoo-ha for 7 years. Let's find the book. And Jesus says that the meek shall inherit the earth. Oh, look at that. Oh, I bet there's two. Oh, which should I pick? What should I pick? Let's go with that one. Let's look for the cover. Maybe it's the same thing. Ooh, creepy Gaia. Yes. How about a general artificial intelligence android like Vicky, but that can move, like programmable matter, like the abomination of desolation, like Lucifer, but pretending to be Mother Earth, Shekinah. How about that coming? And how about your robot force that's coming to make sure that you obey Noahide, slave? Because you're just a Gentile to the ones that want to harm you. That's so creepy. Look at him. He's so gleeful. He's so giddy. He's like, you're all going to die. And Hyperintelligence by James Lovelock. And there's a reason why they're telling you this. They have to. The coming age of hyperintelligence. Goodness, some of these books look pretty interesting. And people, here it is, people will spend more time digging into fables and spending more time with the fake things that the Bible predicted you would turn away from sound doctrine and turn towards fables. And boy, he hit that one straight on 100 miles an hour with the truth. Look, this is the other thing too. Look, his persona is so, I'm a sweet little, little old man with a nice smile. I'm so non-threatening. And it's almost like this, you can't really take him seriously, but I'm telling you, that's all part of the game. He's playing the game. They're all playing the game. He's like delivering the threat, but trying to take the teeth out of it or something. I'm so sweet and nice. Lovelock describes cyborgs as the self-sufficient, self-aware descendants of today's robots and artificial intelligence systems. He calls the looming era of their dominance the Novacene. I'm just going to say it's Novacene, literally the new age. These days, there's no shortage of modern-day Luddites warning that technology will soon overwhelm us, but Ludlock's bold predictions stand apart. Unlike techno skeptics, including university, blah, blah, all these people I don't care about, thinks it is unlikely that our machines will turn against us. Oh, yeah, right. Terminator style. And unlike utopians like futuristic Kurzweil, he doesn't envision humans and machines merging blissfully into a union that some call the singularity. I think he's just straight out saying they're going to wipe us out. Which is not funny, but it's like when you've read the end of the Bible or when you've read the Bible so many times, the shock is just not there anymore because you already know how it ends. At this point, it's just who are you going to trust? Which end are you going to pick? Are you going to pick the end in which you go with a simple shepherd who ends up being God omnipotent, who is hidden, just like Joseph and his brothers in Genesis, if you know that story? When his brothers went before him, they didn't know that was him until he took the covering off, so to speak. That same thing is going to happen when you have at the end of the tribulation, and you know that I'm already pre-trib for the Philadelphian church, the truly born again. But at the end, there's also another pickup and meeting between the Messiah and his Jewish brethren. And I don't even know if there's going to be any Gentiles alive at that point, but yay, there's another resurrection. So you have this double prophecy fulfillment in Genesis. He tells the end from the beginning, where Jesus shows up to fulfill the Feast of Trumpets at the end of the tribulation, the beginning of the end, the middle of the end, the end of the end. At the end of the end, and they repent to him, and it's like a big reveal. I'm your Messiah. I'm your Messiah. Jesus. And I'm not saying it, but I'm saying what he's saying. So when you know all that, it's just a matter of are you going to get on the ark now and escape now and go kick it with Jesus and do all the things that he wants to do for the Feast of Trumpets? And I hope he's coming at the end of this month. I hope, I hope, I hope. And if not, then that's fine. He wasn't ready yet, and there's still more to be done. But Hebrews 10:25 says you will see the day approaching. It's okay, kitty. And it's okay. It's okay. And so, or will you be mowed over and destroyed by these entities? And yay, Satan's coming too. There's so much bad that's going to happen. People just need to sit down and read the Bible and not worry about the fables and the stupid TV shows and the stupid movies and the VMAs and everything else. People need to read the Bible and prepare because these things are wrapping up. We're in wrap up phase here. I don't know how long that's going to last. I hope it's about done because my people are tired. We are tired, but we are willing to be ambassadors to stand in between for our human family and people that do not know what is about to happen. Because you have enemies on the inside that are planning this out. Anyhow, he goes on to say, "Ooh, wow, he just turned 100. That's crazy." It's the outlook that pushes him to conclusions at once optimistic and deeply disturbing. Of course, they want to exploit technology and witchcraft to further their lie of evolution, which ends up being the very bait that Satan uses to completely rule this whole planet. I mean, when God is done with the 21 judgments, there's not left very much standing. There just really isn't. The people that will take the mark of the beast, your popular celebrities and all these beautiful people, they are going to be covered in sores head to toe. That's bull judgment number one. And there's 21 all to go altogether. So he just talks about the end is already the beginning. He talks about this Alpha Zero computer program that taught itself to play the game Go. And he is saying that today's computers can already process data faster than we can with fully independent artificial intelligence. He says that tomorrow's cyborgs will easily become a million times smarter than we are. But you know what? With Jesus, that he's going to crash down that plan no matter what. It is a victory through Jesus. Cyborgs will start again, and he just talks about this cycle, but he doesn't see it through the lens of the Bible.